For this section, we're going to focus on adding whole numbers and perimeter. And for this specific video, we're just going to look at reminding ourselves how to add whole numbers, okay? The question always comes up, calculator usage. I'm not completely opposed to calculators, but I am completely opposed to a calculator doing 100% of the work for you. So for me personally, there's going to be sections of graded assignments where you have to use no calculator, and then sections of graded assignments where a calculator is completely permitted. So I am going to show you how to do this stuff by hand. I will expect you to know how to do this stuff by hand. I'll also expect you to understand when it would be an appropriate time to use a calculator as a time-saving device and as a tool, okay? So know how to do things by hand, really basic stuff, and then we can use the calculator when it's appropriate, okay? So before we get started, there are a few definitions that you need to know. First of all, numbers that are being added are called add-ins, okay? And then the process of addition, or addition is the process of adding numbers. So it's the process of taking one number and increasing it by some other number, or increasing it by some other value or value. So that process is called addition. I think that's a fairly obvious definition, hopefully. Add-ins might be new for you, but addition is fairly typical and standard. Now, the final answer to an addition problem is generally called the sum. So you will definitely hear the word sum thrown around. Please also know that sometimes instead of sum, we'll just say what is the total. It depends on what operation. So operations being addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. It depends on what operation you're doing. Each operation has a specific word that means total, but just know that the word total can also be thrown out. So add-ins are numbers being added together. Addition is the process of adding numbers. And then the final answer to an addition problem is very specifically called the sum, okay? Let's look at example 1. So it says, find the sum of each group of numbers. Okay, so I have 253 plus 744. It is generally easier for people if we add vertically. So what we'll do is we'll rewrite these numbers vertically, so one on top of the other. So I have 253, you can hear my dog barking. We have 253 plus, make sure you put your plus sign, 744. Notice I have lined these numbers on the right-hand side, and they're lined up really, well, in theory, perfectly column by column, okay? And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to right-hand align them column by column, and we want to start at the right-hand side and just add the digits in each column. Okay, so for the first column, I have 3 plus 4. You should be able to add single digit numbers in your head really, really quickly. Okay, so 3 plus 4 is 7. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then finally, 2 plus 7 is also 9. So we would say the sum of 253 plus 744 is 997. Okay, now one thing I do want you to notice here is each column as I was adding had a sum less than 10. Well, what do we do if we have a column that has a sum greater than 10? We'll see that in this next example. So looking at example 2, we have 3,597 plus, don't forget your plus sign, 8,613. We want to right-hand align these numbers. That just means shove everything to the right-hand side and then build to the left. And then we want to add column by column. Okay, well, our first column is 7 plus 3, which is 10. So what we want to do is we want to write down the digit in the ones place. So we have 10. The digit in the ones place is a 0. So I write that down. And then the digit in the tens place, for us a 1, we move it to the next column. So it's going to get added over here. So we say that's carrying the 1. Okay, so we carried the 1. Now the sum of the second column is going to be the original 9 plus 1 plus anything that we carried. So we get 9 plus 1 is 10, plus the 1 we carried is 11. So I write down the digit in the ones place, and then I carry the digit in the tens place. And then I just start the process over. So we have 6 plus 5, which is 11. Plus the 1 that we carried is 12. So I write down the digit in the ones place. I carry the digit in the tens place. And then when you get to the last column, we have 8 plus 3 plus the 1 that we carried. Write this out as a full 2-digit number. So 8 plus 3 is 11, plus the 1 that we carried is 12. And then as a math instructor, something that just stresses me out is when people don't put the commas in their numbers. If you have more than 3 digits, you need your commas to separate the period. If you have more than 4 digits, you really, really need to put those commas in there, okay? So we want to start at the right and go back every 3 digits and throw in our commas. It makes it much easier to read and grade, okay? So we would say the sum of 3,597 and 8,613 is 12,000 210. So there you have it, really basic addition. Let's look at part 3 and 4. Okay, for part 3, we have 3 different numbers, and notice they have a different number of digits each. The first number, 987, has 3 digits. The second number, 2,530, has 4 digits. And then the third number has 12,658. So when I rewrite this vertically, what I do is I typically write my add-ins in order from top to bottom based on how many digits they have. So I go highest number of digits to the lowest number of digits. That's my personal preference. You can put these numbers in any order you want. But for me, vertically, I just like the largest number of digits all the way down to the smallest number of digits. That's, again, my preference. So you'll see me write this as 12,658, 2,530, and then finally plus 987. So that's how I write it. The 5 digits, then the 4 digits, then the 3 digits. Again, my personal preference, I think it's just easier to do. Sorry, a loud car just drove by my house. It's very hot. The doors are open. Okay, so let's add column by column. So 8 plus 0 plus 7 ends up being 15. So I want to keep the 5 in the ones place and carry the 1 in the tens place. So my next column is 8 plus 3 plus 5. So let's see. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So I keep the 7 and I carry the 1. Now I have 9 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. And then 20 plus 1 is 21. So I keep the 1. I carry a 2. This fourth column has a 2 plus a 2 plus the 2 that we carried. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus the 2 that we carried is 6. And then this one right here, there's nothing to add it to. So I just drop it down. Okay. And then I go back every 3 digits and I throw in a comma. Okay. So the sum of 987 plus 2,530 plus 12,658 is 16,175. All right. And then finally for part 4, we have 46,986 plus 81,093. So we're going to line these up vertically and then add column by column. So 46,986 plus 81,093. Column by column, 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. So I keep the 7 and I carry the 1. 0 plus 9 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So I keep a 0. I carry a 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus the 1 that we carried is 8. And then 4 plus 8, this is the last column, so we just write it as a full 2-digit number. 4 plus 8 is 12, so we write the full 12. Okay? And then going from the right to the left, every 3 digits, you get a comma. So the sum of 46,986 plus 81,093 is 128,079. So that is adding whole numbers. Make sure you could do questions like this by hand without a calculator. There's a time and a place for a calculator. Something basic like this is not it, okay? So make sure you can do this by hand.